I mean, based on his voice, he seems like a young guy. And I know Gotcha Smack made a whole video about this. And I think that even Gotcha, like, I'll call out Gotcha Smack. He gave him the tough love talk on his channel, I think. But at the same time, like, I think he's just a young guy. And like, he probably was embarrassed. He was also probably hurt because people were roasting him. I mean, even me, I was typing in my own chat like, holy shit, this guy won't shut up. I'll be honest about it. Because it did drag out every discussion. He just kept inserting himself. And at some point, it's rude. But at the same time, the tough thing about life is you don't know everyone's life. Like, I'm not saying he is, but like, how do you know that he doesn't, like, maybe he's never had like a father figure in his life. Maybe he's never been super social. Maybe, you know, like, you don't know where they came from. And so, yes, maybe it was rude and maybe he was interjecting. Maybe he was too excited. Whatever it is, at the same time, he's also a person. And I know that I made comments that I was like, you know, like to my chat, I was like, oh my, come on, like, let's move along, because I was getting frustrated. But at the same time, no one should be bullied for that. And I think that it got to bullying levels. And I think it's a lot better to pull him aside and be like, hey, listen. But we're also in the middle of this multiple hour podcast. Like, we couldn't, I couldn't pause everything and be like, hey, like, people are going to start, because I could sense it in everyone else. I could sense it in the chat. If it was a different format, let's say we're doing this big live stream and there were some breaks, I would have pulled them aside in between and gone, hey, my guy, I can sense that people are getting frustrated with you. I want you, chat is starting to go off on you. Like, I just want to warn you. I would have warned him, but you can't do it in the middle of a podcast. I could have maybe DM'd him. I didn't DM him because I'm in the middle of a podcast. I was streaming, like, I didn't do it, but it's just too bad because also he says he's taking a break and everything. You just got to learn from this. He just has to move on, and he just has to realize, okay, because here's the thing, and I've talked about this with my sons. If you make a mistake, you aren't in trouble if you learn from it. If you get 40% on a test, that's not good. But if you get 40% on a test, and then you go through the test, you go, oh, I understand why I got that wrong, and you learn the content, that is what school is about. Yes, your grade might not look perfect, but if you take that content and you learn from it, that is a win. My son had to do a persuasive essay. He's getting older now. He's already in grade 8. And he ended up getting a pretty low mark because he wrote a lot of opinions, but he didn't back it up with fact. And he got a pretty bad mark. I think he got like a 50 or like a 55, and it's the lowest mark he's gotten. And he was really stressed out about it. And I was like, okay, but we can fix this easily. I'll show you how to write an essay like this properly and explain why it's wrong. It's okay. And I actually had a teacher in university that did this. So he was my first English teacher in university, and it was scary. He's like, I'm going to grade you like these are thesis papers. I'm going to grade you at 400 level courses. So you start at like 100, 200, 300, 400. He's like, I'm going to grade these like 400 capstone courses. I'm going to grade these like PhD inserts. And you are going to get some of the worst and lowest marks you've ever gotten. But you're going to learn. And if your writing improves by the end of the year, I will give you, a 3.5, a 4.0. I will give you a good mark based on your improvement. But you are going to get 30% on some of these. You're going to get 20%. It is going to be very scary. But if you learn and why you're getting these marks, you will get a good grade at the end. My first essay was a 41%. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, I am not used to this, right? But I improved. I learned. He circled, he marked, all these things. I implemented it. And by the end of the year, I was writing way better. And when I got into my next few courses, my teachers would always say, you're a very good writer for a first year, second year student. Like, your writing is exceptionally good. And it was because of him, because he taught us from our mistakes. And so if the mistake was he was yapping, he was too excited, he was cutting people off at some times, he wasn't giving people things. How many times has he done a podcast with 9 people? I mean, I've only done a podcast with 9 people 1 or 2 times. And everyone wants to get their stuff out there. Everyone wants to build their brand. Everyone wants to give their opinion. He's maybe never been in this situation before. So, like, don't beat the guy up over it. I'm sure half the people in chat thrown into this situation would do something awkward or cringy or whatever. We all do it. We're all people. Leave him alone. You know what I mean? And I get it. when it happened. I get it a day after, people are memeing stuff, but now it's kind of to the level of like, shut the hell up. Leave the kid alone. Let him move on. You know, if he's taking his break, take his break. But Solo, if you end up watching this or see this, don't let them win. Don't let them win. Suck it up. Accept the loss. Accept the L. Take the info that you've got from Gotcha and me, and just go back into it and make the best content possible. That's all you have to do. If you let them win and you fold, then it's over. If you can't fight through this, you'll never make it anyways. And so prove everyone wrong, make some great videos, power through it, and do your thing. All right?
So, even Mtashed is a skilled speaker in Japanese. This is a 6-minute clip, my god. Do I get paid more for this? No. God damn it.